Hey guys, Megadre here from the Hub, back with another video. This is the part 2 in the Handsome Jack fanfic series, which is literally gonna have like zero relation to each other than like part 1, part 2, part 3 at the end of each video name, and being in the same playlist. In fact, it's probably gonna be like at least part 10, because I'm gonna read out the chapters of the fanfic separately. So it's not as long as like the Levi fanfic video, which is like, oh my god, that's like an hour, isn't it? But so it's more reasonably placed, and I will be uploading those ones on Fridays so I can have like normal content on Mondays. After this video, that is, which is telling you how I wrote my Handsome Jack fanfiction. Anyway, allow me to educate you in writing fanfiction. Seriously, I have like too much experience with this, and I have learnt a lot from doing it myself, so. So first of all, what kind of fanfic do you want to write? What kind of fanfic do you want to write? Is the first question you should be asking yourself. Well, since the only fanfic I read was Handsome Jack X Reader, because I did not want to get into the mess of Reese and a hologram and see how on earth they dealt with that. Because seriously, if it doesn't end with Reese dying by Handsome Jack smashing an exoskeleton into Reese, like literally like Jack was originally going to do when they got to the office, then that is a fanfic not worth reading. And also I didn't want to like aimlessly scroll through random Borderlands things just to see what I can find with Handsome Jack. Like, I don't know, Handsome Jack and Moxie, Handsome Jack and Lilith, I don't know. What did people write other than recent Handsome Jack or Handsome Jack and Reader? So I just limited it to the most commonly found fanfiction out there on the planet. OC/Reader X Handsome Jack, even though I mostly read X Reader. Because in the past, I have purely written X Reader fanfiction, and I have learnt a lot throughout that time. So we've picked our fanfiction, we're writing X Reader fanfiction. Now, how are you going to execute this? How are you going to make the reader be in the story? Well, let's get on to inserting the reader into the story. Well, in order to insert the reader into the story, you of course have to have the reader's name and how the reader looks, and describe the reader in the most elegant way possible to boost their ego, because they're probably not that nice looking, but need an ego boost, and won't read the story if you make them feel like shit. So, to do that, you do not use a name. You do not give the character a name. You see, I made a mistake with that already. Not in like any fanfic, but like the Handsome Jack one I'm writing now. So they couldn't be bothered to write out bracket Y/N bracket to mean your name. I just put Natalia like once. And I hope that's as many times that I'll have to write it, but it's probably not, because I'm barely through like the first chapter, I think. So, to insert the reader's name, bracket Y/N bracket means your name. This is how the reader inserts their first name into the story. Bracket L/N bracket means last name. That's then how you insert the reader's last name into the story. Bracket H/C bracket means hair color, and that's how you insert the reader's hair color into the story, and so on and so forth. I'm gonna just like put up a list of every possible reader preference visual look inserted here right now as I'm talking, because it's gonna get really obnoxious going bracket letter bracket, because they're seriously, you come across so many, and some readers, like some writers, even just make them up on the go and just go at the start of the chapter. Oh, by the way, mate, guess what? This little thing here, this means this, because nobody's done this before, so you wouldn't know. Now, once you've successfully learned how to insert the reader into the story, what do you do now? Well, it's time for the plot. The plot. Now, how do you write a thrilling, engaging, planned out story with absolutely zero plot holes that makes sense? Well, long story short, you don't. Nobody on Wattpad cares about that. No, seriously, literally almost every fanfiction next reader writer on Wattpad will just shit out the story. Whatever they come up with, they'll just write it. And sometimes if you're feeling really lazy, you'll cut your story in half by just repeating a chapter, but from somebody else's point of view, so you don't have to think about the plot that hard. Trust me, I did that once as well. It was truly my best moment. But trust me, as an insider for fanfic writing, if you're writing the next reader fanfic, you probably haven't put out any kind of plot in your head. In fact, in your head there are probably only 2 points in the story. Your background with Handsome Jack, and getting shaft by Handsome Jack, which either means literally getting fucked by Handsome Jack, or just getting into a relationship with him. Well, it can be with any character, but we're talking about Handsome Jack, so. And the background of Handsome Jack is either, oh mate, I used to be friends with him, or, oh mate, I just met him. And whichever one. Whichever one, that just kind of dictates the middle of the story. If you already know him, then the story is more likely to go along the lines of before all of Borderlands, which is where. So before all of Borderlands, which is where you're friends with Handsome Jack, or you've just met him, and you get close. This goes both ways for like all of the Borderlands game, by the way. And then you get into a relationship with him because he's still nice and not crazy then. But you see, they don't write further than before the pre-sequel. So you don't get screwed over because the relationship can just end and nobody will ever know. And technically not canon because it's before the thing. I mean, all of these aren't canon, but like, it doesn't affect the canon, not kind of canon, which is the good kind of canon that I like. And then there's set during the game. So if you're already friends with Handsome Jack, he'll probably have something like, wait, is that person? Is that your name? Oh my god, I knew her, but I'm also crazy now. I know how to deal with this. I, Handsome Jack, will become a stalker of the reader and be absolutely infatuated with them. And that's how it'll always go if you have background on Handsome Jack during the video game, if that's when you're setting it. Or if you've just met Handsome Jack, it will go similarly like, oh my god, that reader, they look so beautiful. And then actually the person reading is like a 300-ton middle-aged white man. I mean, it's normally not. I'll talk about demographic in a second, but anyway. And then just Handsome Jack will become completely infatuated with the reader upon first sight, and not even learn the reader's personality before deciding, hey, you see this bed? You should join me in it. And then, of course, there is Tales from the Borderlands. That one's unique. It normally results in Handsome Jack somehow getting a body back. Or just, oh, he's an AI. I fell in love with a computer, I guess. He's gonna outlive me. Legitimately, you'll probably never be friends beforehand with Handsome Jack before this, and you're more likely to be friends with Reese Vaughn. You bet. I have not seen one where you're friends with Handsome Jack and it takes place during Tales from the Borderlands. And now, of course, there's the one which is after Tales from the Borderlands, which is where you're never ever friends with Handsome Jack previously to his death or anything. It will always be your first time meeting him if you said it after all of the games. In which case you'll likely get, like, I don't know, a fancy device of Reese or something containing Handsome Jack's AI, and you meet him and the reader realizes, oh my fucking god, Handsome Jack's an arsehole, how do I get him out of my head? But then over time it's like, Handsome Jack, you sweetheart. And that's literally your plot, your start and your end. Anything in the middle, that's just bullshit that is made up as you go. And like for this one, where I actually like planned it out because I wanted to be somewhat decent. Just a little tip to everybody out there: plan your stories. Doesn't matter what they are. Plan them so you're not just putting filler crud in the middle between your start and your end. You see, there's a little thing called a story mountain. You don't just put the end and the start of the mountain. You put things in the middle to help to hike over the mountain. And then, of course, your demographic. Now, your demographic. Your demographic is likely going to be, well, this is Borderlands assassinating game, but yeah, your demographic's still probably going to be 12 to 18-year-olds. Like 18 at the very max, because after that, nobody reads it seriously. If you're over 18, you read it for shits and giggle to make fun of. But when you're 12 to 18, you're probably going to read it seriously. You're probably going to take it seriously. And then you're probably going to be depressed the next day when you realise Handsome Jack isn't a real guy that can just sweep you off your feet, embrace you, and bring you internal happiness and distress because he's a psychopath and you wouldn't actually be happy in a real life situation with him. And they're probably just going to be 12 to 18-year-old white girls. And the writers are probably going to be 12 to 18, any race girls. No, trust me, I'm not trying to be racist here. This is literally just what I found out by generally looking at things that writers post and everything. Trust me, I'm not being racist here. This is literally the demographic and the writer demographic. Just trust me, okay? Now, of course, writing the story. Now on Wattpad, you just have this little thing. It's called a plus, right? There's a plus button when you go to write a story. And when you write that story, you, like we said in the plot section, you shit it out as you go. And now what you do, your story, each chapter will be around 600 to 1,000, whatever in the bottom of the corner you see. It's either words or characters. I'm pretty sure it's words for Wattpad stories. And once you've written that, you can say successfully, I have written a chapter, time to post this at literally no planned schedule. And then you do that. And then you write another one. And another one by the same process. And you start adding in more author's note to get to that lovely 1,000 words. Without actually writing more story, but just putting in author's notes. And then don't forget the time skip. The time skip. The time skip is a crucial part in the Wattpad story, where the writer is very bad at passing time by any natural means of writing, So they just say, screw it, I'm literally going to write out time skip, and if you're lucky, you'll sometimes get time skip brought to you by. That was something that I actually did a lot. I would write time skip brought to you Levi's cleaning supplies or something. And then it's normally related to whatever story you're writing. Time skip brought to you by Hyperion guns or something, I don't know. And this is just a way for the writer to skip over a bit of time they can't be bothered to write about, with no consequences, and no thinking about how the relationship will grow or change over that time, and no natural writing skills, or no, not even starting a paragraph with, it's been a week since Handsome Jack has been in my head. Oh my god, someone help me. No, you have to write time skip a week. You can't even write it. Let me give you a little tip, all of you writers. Write a time skip and actually write what the time skip is. Even if it's just, it has been a week since Daddy Jack has been in my head. At least write that instead of time skip brought to you by that star sitting in the middle of my room. Trust me, it will improve your writing skills greatly instead of procuring this awkward cringe of the writer being aware that they're writing X-Reader fanfiction, and that any interaction as the writer will just become all the more awkward because everybody knows that writing X-Reader fanfiction is the lower common denominator thing to do. Once you have all of that, there's your Handsome Jack X-Reader, which is any X-Reader really. And when that happens, you either give up, or once you get to the relationship bit, you just give up there and either just resort to good bedtime fun with Jack, or just, oh, the story's over now, by the way, so you never finish, or that happens. Anyway, this is Mega Trio from the Hub, signing out. Please make love to that subscribe button. Oh my fucking god, my view count has been going down. Is it because I'm getting lazy with editing? Probably. I don't know. It just makes me happy to see numbers in the double digits. I will literally post everything everywhere. Then, next week, I'm going to be posting something on Monday about the anime I'm making. So all of you can learn about that's watching. And it's not, Alfie Harding. Yes, I see you. Get off my goddamn video. No, actually, please, Alfie, stay. Leave all the comments. And you can learn more about that. Anyway, this is Mega Trio from the Hub signing out. Literally, subscribe. Do all the things, please. Thanks. Bye.